Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shemel Shai Bashem Kodash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of you elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, They Came Here Long Before Columbus. They came here long before Columbus. That's a little play on They Came Here Before Columbus, or They Came Before Columbus, which was a book written by, what's the brother's name? Benjaminite. I forget his name. Anyway, somebody help me out. It'll come back to me though, or should come back to me. Anyway, this right here, this is pretty much a response to Vocab Malone, the video they put up last night, or premiered last night, and then he did the video a day before that. Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me come over here.
See, Nicole Garcia, we were calling your...
Bear with me for a minute. I'm just looking at this. A nationwide alert activated. Small farms just got wiped out. Multiple states are getting hit. I'm sorry. I was watching the fight last night. I was a barn burner. The fight with Benavidez versus Andrade. Let me see. Vocab. I'm putting in vocab. That fight lived up to Hagler versus Hearns. It was a barn burner. It was a war. And Andrade went out on his shield. Okay, vocab. Malone. Okay. Which, by the way, if you wanted to know, I subscribe to Vocab Malone. Just to see what he's talking about. Let me see. Videos. He's obsessed with the One Westers. Yeah, we were listening to some of maybe a half an hour or so of IUIC Bishop Nathaniel. He's getting down. We can't really say too much negative about him. He was getting down, but he went off. He had to go into Revelation 13 and 16. Just went into it headlong to try to push and link it up with Revelation 17. If you watch the video, we just caught maybe a half an hour, 25 minutes, a half an hour. And then he also went off on the seven, the beast, 7 heads, 10 horns. He said the 7 heads, one of them was Russia. It was not Russia. It's not Russia. Replace Russia with Germany. There was 2 Germanys, Germania Major and Germania Minor. Okay, let me see. Okay, this one right here he did last night. I was watching some of it, and then he did this, the DNA. That's why I did a sort of response to the whole DNA thing. I went into the, what is that, the, what is the E1B1A haplogroup, which I'm nowhere near an expert on that. So it was a relatively short video, about not even 15 minutes long. But anyway, he's if you can see, DNA, Israelite DNA, a very different voice, speaks Hebrew in Puerto Rico. So he's calling himself debunking that there were no Hebrews. And like I said, the white settlers, the Christian white settlers, the majority of them said that these are Israelites. There's plenty articles on that, you know. What is that? The Les Lunas stones, the Deca stones. Matter of fact, let me do that. Let me go to Deca stones. Les Lunas Deca stones. See what comes up. Okay. Los Lunas Decalogue stones. I'm not going in one direction. I'm a little all over the place. I didn't plan anything. The Los Lunas Decalogue stone is a large boulder on the side of Hidden Mountain near Los Lunas, New Mexico, about 35 miles south of Albuquerque, that bears a 9-line inscription carved into a not carved, it's actually cuneiform wedge writing into a flat panel. The stone is also known as the Los Lunas Mystery Stone. Let's open this up. So I'm an archaeologist now. I put my archaeologist hat on. Let me see if it says Hebrew. Okay, let me go to word find. Put in the word Hebrew. Oh, Hebrew's there 10 times. Look at this. The reported 1880s date of discovery is important to those who believe that the stone is pre-Columbian, meaning before Columbus. However, the Paleo-Hebrew script, Paleo-Hebrew, ancient Hebrew. Let me go Paleo-Hebrew. That's Paleo-Hebrew. So this is not something that we made up. Oh, y'all just made up this alphabet right here. Nope. The Paleo-Hebrew or Paleo-Hebrew, Proto-Hebrew. Proto meaning the first language, the first form of Hebrew. That's where you get the word term prototype. Or Old Hebrew or Ancient Hebrew is the writing system found in inscriptions of Canaanite, which the Canaanites spoke Hebrew language. If you put in Phoenician language of the Phoenicians, or the Phoenicians is a Greek way of saying Canaanite, or you put Canaanite language and put images, you're going to get the Paleo-Hebrew. Canaanite languages from the region of southern Canaan, which is the Middle East, also known as Biblical Israel and Judah, or Yahudah, Yasha'al and Yahudah. It is considered to be the script used to record the original text. Boom. So they're telling you that's the Hebrew, right? Let me open this. Nah, man, you know what I'm doing? Here goes Paleo-Hebrew. One argument against the stone's antiquity is its apparent use of modern Hebrew. Well, that's not modern Hebrew. These are no pre-color. See, they're debunking this. So some say that this is pre-Columbia, this Columbian Columbus coming over here and post Columbia era. That this is clearly Hebrew. This is clearly Hebrew. Vocab Malone. So the only argument is whether this was here before Columbus came. But this is clearly Hebrew. That's a Za'a Ka. Let me see. Lum Isle. Trying to open it up. Okay, there we go. Try to open up a little bit more. La'a means not or no. La'a. So this is the Ten Commandments. When you read the Ten Commandments in the Hebrew, it'll say La'a, which is not commit adultery, not kill, murder, not steal, not bear false witness. So it keeps saying La'a, which is no or not. Yeah, so these are supposed to be the Ten Commandments. We're definitely those people. Okay, this is another article. And I'll give you some precepts as well. Did Hebrews discover America? And the answer is yes. The Northern Kingdom. They knew to come over here because of King Solomon. He got gold from Ophir, which is, the Americas. Now they'll say Ophir is a place in Havilah, which is south of Palestine, but it said he had his navy come over here. That's all sand. That's all dry ground. And there was a 3-year cycle. Year and a half going, year and a half coming back. That's on the other side of the world, the West. That's why in Acts 1, starting from about the 5th to 6th verse, it said that the apostles were going to be speaking in Jerusalem and Judea and to the uttermost part of the earth. The uttermost part of the earth is the West, which is America. That's where the Israelites are. The focus on this word is mainly in America, the Babylon, because the rest of these Israelites that are scattered, they're not going to taste of the missiles. Africa's not going to taste of the missile. Probably certain places will be jacked up through the earthquake from the missiles hitting. So we don't have to put focus on going. We got to go to Africa. Wake them Israelites out in Africa. See, that's what Bishop Nate is doing, which is not. I'm not knocking him for that. But the focus is on the majority of the elect is coming out of America. The truth came out of America. Anytime you see a so-called One Wester, a member of the former One West that came up in the ranks, the vocab focuses on us because we're the only group of Israelites, the former One Westers, that had this truth. This truth. They said, should we really have celebrated Columbus Day last week? And this article was put up in October, right after this is about a week after the celebration. That thing where he was an Italian, and Italians, Christopher Columbus was not an Italian. He was from Spain. He was a Spaniard, and he was a J, because he was a crypto J, a crypto Jew, because you had the Spanish Inquisition. You can look that up. That's a whole nother story. That was during the time of Cristobal's contemporaries was Torquemada, Cesare Borgia, Cesare Borgia, Cesare Borgia, Caesar Borgia. His father what was his name? Rodrigo Alexander VI. Out of Spain, the power went from Rome to Spain. Queen Isabella, King Ferdinand, that was to bring the two kingdoms together. And I always get these messed up. I think I got them right. Castile and Aragon, if I'm not mistaken. Castile and Aragon. When you do the history on that, you find out that was a marriage of convenience. They might have not necessarily loved each other. Like today, you have the Scions, the rich Scions. The Rothschilds, the Schiffs, the Rockefellers. They're encouraged to marry, their kind. Meaning, you got to make a certain amount of money and be in a certain part of certain class. Anyway, let me read this. Forgive me. And this is from the Harvard Crimson. So you can't say y'all just making all this up. Well, this is from the Harvard Crimson. You heard of Harvard? America, one of two of America's top universities on the planet. If you say you have two women sitting down. One woman says, "Oh, my son goes to this college over here." Then you say, "Oh, my son just got accepted to Harvard." The other woman gonna shut the hell up. If you are accepted to Harvard or Yale or Princeton or in England, you got the Cambridge and Oxford, the four top universities on the planet. So you can't say we're crazy and we're just making this shit up. It says, should we really have celebrated Columbus Day last week? No. According to a Brandeis professor, look up the word Brandeis, that's a whole nother subject, who says that a professor who says that ancient Hebrews reach America. You know what I got to do? Let me go ahead and who says that ancient Hebrews reach America 13,000 years before. So we're talking about 200. Actually, it says 135. Say 200 A.D. A little bit more than 100 A.D. 100 A.D. 200 A.D. Our Lord and the disciples is on the scene. Matter of fact, the Lord and the disciples are on the scene. We're talking less than 100 years, about 100 years before this. But in reality, the tribes, the northern kingdom, got over here during the time of the Babylonian captivity of the kingdom of Judah, Yahweh. These explorers allegedly set foot in the New World around 135 AD. This is way before Columbus. We're talking, about 50, it says 13, we're talking almost 1,500 years, 1,400 years. There was, because when he came over here, who did he encounter? People. They were dark people, and they were called Indians, which that's where you get the word indigenous. In the gene of gene. So it's chronicled in his writings that he discovered other people. They were Israelites. His chief interpreter was a man by the name of I always forget this guy's name, Torres, Del Torres. Look that up. That's another subject. And one of the languages that he spoke fluently was Hebrew. He spoke Hebrew, Arabic, Latin, I believe Greek. I think he knew about 5 different languages. So he wasn't a dummy. There was more than one boatload, Cyrus H. Right, that's true. That's true. Gordon said last Sunday, perhaps it was a two-way affair, right, because they were coming back and forth, with some colonists returning to the old world, which was the Middle East, to spread the news. We do not know how long this colony lasted. Well, the colony became, widespread throughout the Americas, Canada, the U.S., Central America, Latin America, or Southern or South America. All those people, the indigenous people of North, Central, and South America they make up the lost tribes, the Northern Kingdom. And we're getting ready to go home. We're getting ready to go home. You see what's happening in the Middle East? And the Jays are looking like the bad guys. The H's, the Hams are kind of looking like the good. They looking like they're coming off looking like the humanitarians, and the Jays are coming off looking like the bad guys. Even CNN is kind of a little bit mad, You can keep a lie going for so long, man. Them lies are going to catch up with you. It says Gordon, professor of Mediterranean Studies. Mediterranean Studies mean anything around the area of the Mediterranean. That includes Israel, that includes Egypt, that includes the Levant. Studies at Brandeis claim the Hebrew refugees fleeing Roman oppression crossed the Atlantic. Okay, you got to go further back. You got further back. Inside joke. So they're going based upon maybe you know what this is proving? If this is the fact that even certain of the kingdom of Judah, Yahweh was probably going there because they knew about the trial. Oh, let's go to this place, the new place, the new region. So you got to go further back. We're talking 720, 726, 730 BCE, where the northern kingdom came over here. So this is some new information. You could have had the kingdom of Yahweh coming over here too. Because this is how many years after the we're talking 50, 60 years after the Roman Jewish War in 70 AD. So you could have had Yahweh, meaning Judah, Benjamin, Levi, coming over here too. Gordon, professor of Mediterranean Studies at Brandeis, look up Brandeis, claimed that Hebrew refugees fleeing Roman oppression across the Atlantic. Yes, so they were going west. If they crossed the Atlantic, they were going west. Because if you look at a map, matter of fact, let me do this. Let me help y'all out. Because a lot of y'all don't know. You can't picture a map in your mind. Especially in the Middle East. Let's open that up. Right here. So he's saying that the kingdom of Judah, Yehoiada, the southern kingdom, started coming over here fleeing Roman persecution. And it said that this guy he studies Mediterranean studies, which is the Levant. Now, how they came over here, it said that they went through the Atlantic. The Atlantic is over here. So they could have came down here, came through the Red Sea, through the Gulf of Aden, into the Arabian Sea, circumnavigated, came this way, and then went to the Americas. This what's this? Brazil, all that. This is the Americas. That's why you got in the South America, you got people with afros, dark skin, Negro features to Indian type features. And then it was said in Acts 1, 5, and 6 that you're going to speak to the uttermost part of the earth. The uttermost part of the earth is over here. Because everybody knew about this part of the earth. They knew about this. Oh, anywhere that there's green, that's talking about life, right? When you go into the Hepler groups, E1B1A, you look at a map of Africa, and the people that go back to the E1B1A Hepler group, it's the same chart. So we knew to go where life was. So if they came this way, let me see. All right, this is the Mediterranean. They could have went further up, and they could have went the Mediterranean, and they could have came this way. Here you got the United States. Here you got Columbus. Where did he come to? When you go to the records, Columbus landed right about here. Santo Domingo, the island of Hispaniola. Then he further went up and went down. The Spaniards, that's why these people speak Spanish, because it was the Spaniards that took them over. And then over here mostly English, because the military of Great Britain took this over. The French, Spaniards, France, and England. So the truth is out there, man. The truth is definitely out there. Okay, Gordon, professor of Mediterranean Studies at Brandeis, claimed the Hebrew refugees fleeing Roman oppression, that's the kingdom of Yehoiada, crossed the Atlantic. I showed you the map. They were going west, perhaps with the aid of Phoenician navigators, Canaanites, and some of them were Israelites that were being labeled as Phoenicians. The great ship, the people with the most experience of ships, boats, and sailing the sea from continent to continent were the Phoenicians, which were the Canaanites. I believe a lot of them were Israelites. They eventually settled in Tennessee and Kentucky, he said. Well, you had Gad all up in there. Gordon bases a theory on a stone uncovered in in a Tennessee Indian burial mound. So Gad was all throughout America. He claims that that inscription on the stone are ancient Hebrew characters that say for the land of Canaan, because this is also Canaan. Let me go ahead and read on. Although a Smithsonian Institute team discovered the stone in 1885, no one thought it significant until Gordon studied it. A colleague sent a picture of a rock to Gordon, who said he realized that the stone had been photographed and studied upside down because they didn't know how to read Hebrew. So you people are not all that smart. What is it? We don't know what it means. All you have to do is turn it upside down, get somebody that knows Paleo Hebrew, and you'll understand it. And the Decalogue stone are the 10 Commandments. Deca, 10. A log meaning words or law. The Decalogue, loosely translated, means laws. He then deciphered, meaning broke the circle. He then deciphered the characters. The characters were, let me come back over here. So they had it upside down. So he said, wait a minute, you got to turn this right side up. Wait a minute, this is ancient Hebrew. This is Paleo Hebrew. He then deciphered the characters. That is a fraud. Cambridge Mayor Alfred E. Volusi commented, Volusi is noted for his defense of Christopher Columbus. He wanted to make Christopher Columbus look good. These people were not civilized. They didn't speak a language they couldn't speak. They mumbled. So Christopher Columbus and them, we had to civilize them, which is BS. The Gad had to help the settlers because they were dying off. The sandy areas, the Gad showed them how to take sand and make it fertile. They would take fish and bury the fish under the ground, and it would fertilize the ground. So Esau, if it wasn't for Gad, Esau would have died over here. As the first white man to reach the New World, Edomite, just because they found a rock with some Jewish writing on it, does not prove. Yes, it does prove anything. If you find a rock, no one's ever here, no one's ever been here. Oh, who are those people over there with feathers in their head and fringes on? Stone, and you get an expert, and you find out, well, wait a minute, that's Paleo Hebrew. You think everybody discovered America, which, by the way, is named after Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian gentleman, he said. That's all I'm going to read. I mean, if you go to Google and you put in certain keywords, you're going to get all kind of information. Let me bring this back. So this is a good article right here. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me leave this up. Anyway, let me go on to the precepts. Give you some precepts. Let me do this. scattered pops up 71 times in almost 70 verses. Okay, let me read Deuteronomy 30 verse 3. That then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee. This is Israel being blessed, and will return and gather thee from all nations, whether Yahweh thy God, thy power, have scattered thee. It says all nations. So anywhere, when, like I said, when Columbus came over here, who did he encounter? He encountered Israelites. Let me do this. Open up another blue letter tab. Deuteronomy 28:64, and Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even to the other, from the east to the west, from the uttermost east to the uttermost west. The uttermost west on the globe that we here live on, the big blue marble, is the Americas. Canada. Who'd you have up there? You had Gad up there. The U.S., America. You had Gad. You had some Issachar. Going to Central and South America. Those are all Israelites. Those are what they call the 10 tribes, the Northern Kingdom. You have Jewish rabbis that go into the Apocrypha too. They study the Apocrypha as well. And they say the same thing, that the people coming to the New World, or new region, which is in Deuteronomy chapter 29, another land. The word there is, in the Hebrew is, matter of fact, I got to go to that. I'll go to that in a minute. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. These are the churches, the idols, whether they be mosques, churches, temples. And then see, Vocab Malone says that the Israelites were never lost. They never lost their identity. Yes, you were, because you wasn't going to worship other gods, unless that's all that you knew. These slavers in America, they knew what they were doing to scatter families. So your father and your mother couldn't teach you that you were Israelite. And when the children were sent to other plantations, they were raised up speaking English. You couldn't read, especially you couldn't read the scriptures. Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Those are your churches, mosques, temples, Buddha. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease. You got Jake kind of moving up, but they gotta move up the hard way. Because Esau ain't helping you to make it. He's looking at you as a threat. Because they knew the history about Rome, how we took over Rome. We took over the Roman Empire. It said, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but Yahweh shall give thee a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. So now let's click on this, get the word scatter. Yeah, I did a lesson on the Pequot Indians, and the Pequot is Hebrew, Paquad, Paquad, which means numbered, visit or numbered. Okay, this is Pawataza, to scattered, be dispersed, be scattered. Got all these precepts here. So let's come back over here. So Deuteronomy 20:28 speaks about the blessings and the cursings, about 15 verses for the blessings, and the rest, all the way to the 68th verse, are the cursings. And Deuteronomy 30 speaks about the blessings, how the Most High is going to turn around and bless us. We're getting blessed right now. It says that then the Yahweh, and by the way, if you're a Hebrew Israelite, especially if you come out of One West, if you're not calling on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, you had a meeting with somebody. You cannot call yourself a prophet, a teacher, an apostle, a bishop, a deacon of Israel, a former One Wester, and you just don't know the name. You know all the precepts, you just don't know the name of the Most High. Go back to Comfy, One West. All of a sudden, Comfy came in there, Tazadakia. Oh, that's not the name of the Most High. We don't know his name. That then Yahweh, the Most High, will return thy captivity, meaning you were in captivity, the Most High is going to take you out of captivity, and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all nations, whither Yahweh, thy power, thy God, have scattered thee. Where were we scattered? Scattered throughout the Africas, Europe. You got a lot of Israelites, like they have blonde hair, blue-eyed, look Scandinavian, but they're Israelites. Me and Apostle Gabar were working down in Manhattan. We was in the village doing a delivery, and we saw this Edomite woman, blonde-haired Edomite woman, young woman, and we saw her what looked to be her two daughters. They looked just like her, and right behind them was a Jake, a dark-skinned Jake. And we looked at the features of the father and the features of the two girls, and they were definitely had the features of the father, but they looked just like Edomites. And me and Gabar said, "Oh snap! They look just like Edomites. They look just like their mother, but they kind of walked like their father, kind of had certain features of their father. We knew that's not the stepfather, that's the father. So you're gonna have Edomites looking like Israelites looking like Edomites." Okay, let's deal with this one. What is this? This got to be the Book of Esther. Give me a second here. Yeah, Esther, chapter 3. Let me come back. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, which, by the way, King Ahasuerus, give you a picture. That's the individual in the movie 300, the real tall guy, the king. That's Ahasuerus. So he actually, King Leonidas actually existed, and that king that he fought against was in the movie he was called Xerxes. He was also known as Xerxes. If you look it up, Xerxes was also known as Ahasuerus. There was a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people, and that happened in ancient. We were always scattered, man. That's why you have the law of the stranger in all the provinces of thy kingdom. This is after the downfall of the Babylonian Empire. This was during the time of the Persian Empire, Medo-Persian Empire. And their laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's laws. Right, well, right. Therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. Now when you look up Haman, he's a small hat. It says if it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. Destroyed. What did Benjamin Netanyahu call for? And I heard it. I heard him say it. He said it in Hebrew, and they translated it. He quoted what is that? Second Samuel 15. Destroyed all the Amalekites. He called the Palestinians, he called them Amalekites, which they're not Amalekites. Amalekites are Edomites. It says, if it please the king, let it be written that, and ultimately Haman got put to death with his sons, may be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasure. In other words, I'm going to pay you to get rid of these people. And a lot of these Palestinians are Israelites, because remember, we're scattered everywhere. Anywhere you go, there's going to be Jakes among those people. Let me go into the word Haman. So we were always scattered. That's why you had particular laws dealing with the right of return, the law of the stranger. You got Christians saying, well, that's another nation. Nope, it's Israelites that lived outside of Israel. They had children, generations outside of Israel, and you had Israelites that came back, and Israelites just lost who they were. Haman says, magnificent chief minister of Ahasuerus, enemy of Mordecai and Jehoiada, who plotted to kill the Jehoiada, but being foiled by Esther, was hanged with his family, says his sons, his family, on the gallows he had made for Mordecai. So this whole thing that's happened over there in Israel is going to backfire on them. The least of them shall draw them out. The least of the flock shall draw them out. So we see Habakkuk 2 is coming to pass. We don't got to tarry no more. I'm not going to read every precept here. Right, all the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. Just like we were scattered, our enemies are going to be scattered. So how in the hell are they going to come together as Gog and Magog and come against us? Our bones are scattered at the grave's mouth. That's America, the grave's mouth, as when one cutteth and cleaveth wood upon the earth. Our bones. This goes hand in hand with Ezekiel chapter 37. And that's one of my favorite chapters, man. I went through it before. I got to go through it in the NLT. Right, at the lifting up of thyself, the nations were scattered. When the missiles hit, there's going to be a great scattering. That's to change the world. Only acknowledge thine iniquity. Another beautiful chapter, Jeremiah chapter 3. A lot of solid information. Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against Yahweh thy power, and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree, and ye have not obeyed my voice, saith Yahweh. So Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not going to wait for Jake to get it right. He's going to deliver the elect, and he's going to destroy the rest of them. Then you're going to have to come back. Oh, this is a beautiful one too for these churches. These Christians cannot deal with us. They get blown away every time they try to deal with us. Jeremiah 10 verse 21. For the pastors are become brutish, are become stupid. I'm gonna look that word up. But in Latin or Italian, the word bruta means stupid, or sometimes ugly, and have not sought Yahweh. Therefore they shall not prosper, and all their flocks shall be scattered. So let me pull out some words here. This applies to the churches today. Brutish. And the word is ba'ir. Ba'ir. Basically means, yeah, right, not to be stupid, dull-hearted. So it does mean stupid. So these churches are stupid. And they defend that nonsense. When the IUIC roll up on them churches, they defend. You know, like, you ain't gonna get me. You ain't gonna pull it fast. In other words, that's their attitude. Like we're bringing them into a cult. We're telling them the truth. See, I knocked IUIC, but I ain't totally knocking them, because that's for the record, to show you, look, these churches are not gonna get it. They ain't gonna get it. And like I said in the past, not one member, to my knowledge, left any of those churches. However many churches IUIC went to my knowledge, not one church member said, you know what, I'm an Israelite. Because they're not part of the elect. You know, you can find a lot of precepts when you just go, go into one word and just do a word search. I'll give you a couple more. Jeremiah 30 verse 11. For I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations whither I have scattered you, yet will I, or you all, yet will I not make a full end of you, but I will correct thee, or correct you by measure, because the people are coming in little by little, and will not leave thee or you altogether unpunished. So that stuff about Israelites going to burn in hell, no, they're going to be Romans 11, 25 and 26. Let me do this. Let me do this here. I'll read this in the NLT. Let me get ready to close. I went a little long. I'm sorry, NLT. Like I said, when I get a chance, I want to go into Ezekiel 37 in the NLT. So Jeremiah 30 verse 11. For I am with you and will save you, says Yahweh. I will completely destroy the nations where I have scattered you. So one of the places that's going to be destroyed is America. Now these other places that we are located, buildings will fall down because it's going to be the whole earth is going to shake. Isaiah 24, this one precept, Isaiah 24, proves that. But but all these nations are going to be built back up. Europe is going to be built back up. Israel is going to be built back up. Whatever buildings were knocked down, they're going to be built back up. Palestine, of course, is going to be built back up. The only place that's going to be utterly destroyed is the U.S. But I will not completely destroy you, because some of us will die on this side. I will discipline you, but with justice, the right way. I will give you the truth. Through who? The prophets. I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go unpunished. So we're being punished, but now the Most High is bringing the punishment off of us, which are the elect, and the punishment is going to remain on Jake. That's why Jake is blowing each other away, because they're not of the elect. They said there was, I think it was a Black Friday, going into the weekend in Chicago. He said there was about 100 shootings or more. That's a spirit. Remember, before you come into this truth, each and every one of us has a demon on us. So anybody that you meet, IUIC dealing with them churches, all them church people that they were dealing with, they all had, each and every last one of them had demons on them. That's why one church, the women, they came out taking off funky shoes, throwing it at them, trying to hit them with the spike part of the shoe. One old ass Negro from church pulled out a 9, held it sideways, like a gangbanger. They started beating dudes up. It reminded me of the sons of Sceva and his sons in the book of Acts. So you're finding out that the people that are in those churches they all have demons on them. The chief demon is Vocab Malone. That's Satan himself in the flesh. That's Louis Cypher. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say Shalom.